Sometimes as we follow the prophecies of the Bible, it's almost like walking in slow motion. I mean, you know where you are and you know where you're going, but to actually being experienced it is almost surreal. You just think, wait a minute, is this a dream? I mean, you're watching everything happen. Well, that's exactly where we find ourselves today. It's so interesting because, you know, we always talk about the United States and Iraq, United States and Afghanistan. And then it got a little closer to home a couple of weeks ago when we read that the United States was in Jordan, because Jordan is right next door to Israel. Jordan is between Israel and Iraq. And so that still was okay. But then all of a sudden, we find out that 9,000 troops are moving into the nation of Israel. Are you kidding me? I mean, it just hasn't happened before. It hasn't been done before. But all of a sudden, here we are. Now, the reason I bring this up today is because there's actually a prophecy in the Bible that states that the United States is going to be a protector of Israel in the end time. And we are in the end time right now. You can prove that backwards and forward. There are so many prophecies that are coming to pass right now simultaneously that are all prophesied for the end time, and they're all converging right now in different ways. Whether you want to talk about a numbering system where every person on earth is going to have a number without which they cannot buy or sell, whether you want to talk about the emerging one world government under the guise of global governance or globalization. You may want to talk about the rebirth of the Holy Roman Empire as it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The prominent societal condition of Lot was homosexuality. Sodom and Gomorrah, where Lot lived, was destroyed for homosexuality, and here we see it absolutely rampant. We've never, ever seen anything close to this before. So as we see all of these prophecies, and I've just scratched the surface, we could talk for hours about all the prophecies and how they're coming to pass right now. But when we see all this happening, and then we see the United States of America this week, I'm talking about as I speak, moving troops into Israel. I mean, it really makes me stop dead in my tracks. Of course, we've got this other prophecy that's running parallel with that one, which says a war is coming from the Euphrates River area that's going to result in the killing of 1/3 of mankind. So I'll tell you what, let's do. Before we go any further, let's quickly bring you up to date on what the scripture actually says. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse number 4. Many people have indicated that the United States is not in the prophecies of the Bible. However, many years ago, I found this prophecy. It's Daniel 7:4. The first, it talks about 4 beasts come up out of the sea, and it says the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Now, what does that have to do with the United States? Well, later on in this chapter, in verse number 23, it states that the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon the earth. Another place in this chapter, it teaches that these beasts are all symbolizing nations or kingdoms. So, there are 4 beasts here, a lion with eagle's wings, a bear, a leopard, and a 10-horned beast. And it states here that these 4 beasts are symbols for nations, and if you study the context of the passage, you know that these are nations that will be on the earth at the time of the second coming of Jesus Christ. So once we realize that, so we've got Daniel 7:23 says, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom. So we know a beast is a kingdom or a nation. And here we have a lion with eagle's wings. And we can prove that all of these nations symbolized by the lion, the bear, the leopard, the 10-horned beast, they all must be on the earth at the time of the Battle of Armageddon and the second coming of Jesus Christ. So once we know that, let's take a little closer look at this first beast. Beast like a lion. What in the world is that? Well, when God picks national symbols to represent nations. He doesn't pick them indiscriminately. He picks symbols that will have relevance at the time of the fulfillment. Now, this passage was written about 2,500 years ago. Yet, there is a major nation on this earth right now whose official recognized symbol is the lion. You probably already know it. You've heard of the British lion. If you've ever been to London, you've stood at Trafalgar Square, which is the center of London, and there's this huge lion looking north, looking south, looking east, looking west. 4 lions looking every way. And then throughout the city, if you watch for them, I mean, they're everywhere because the lion is the official symbol of Great Britain. If you look in Webster's Third International Dictionary under lion, it'll say the symbol of a country, Great Britain. So Almighty God wanted us to know that one of the nations in power at the time of his second coming was going to be the lion, or Great Britain. But that's not all he told us. He also said that the lion had eagle's wings. Now, I'll tell you what, just pull a dollar bill out of your pocket right now. Look on the back. And there you're going to see it. I'm talking about the U.S. dollar bill, the greenback. There it is, the eagle. Look at the back of your dollar bill. Look at Daniel 7:4. The Bible says that there were eagle's wings growing out of the lion. Where did the United States of America come from, by the way? Everybody knows that. Britain is our mother country. We came out of Great Britain. And then Daniel said, I watched in this vision he was having, I watched until the wings were plucked, broken off. What's that about? Could that be the Declaration of Independence when the United States of America was broken away from Great Britain? 1776 AD? Now, this was written 550 BC, 2,500 years prior, 2,300 years prior to this prophecy actually being fulfilled before the birth of the United States of America. Okay, so the wings are plucked, and then it was made stand up on the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Is it a coincidence that our other symbol here in the United States of America is Uncle Sam? A man's heart was given to it. I'm not even mentioning the next beast, which is the bear. All of you know that Russia's symbol is the bear. So God, in 550 BC, is naming the nations that will be on the earth at the time of the second coming. Great Britain, the United States, Russia. That's the first 3 he named. I mean, he didn't speak about Zimbabwe or Costa Rica. He talked about, well, the first 3 nations are 3 of the big 5. The big 5 are the only ones that have veto power at the UN Security Council. So this is quite an incredible prophecy. But there's more to this prophecy than that, because we're talking about U.S. troops being stationed in Israel today. They're going to be there for at least a year, according to the reports. We now are moving troops into Israel, and we're going to be conducting exercises over the next few weeks within Israel, actually integrating our military with hers. We're taking our anti-missile defense systems and we're putting them together with their anti-missile defense systems. Why is this happening? We're planning on building an umbrella, a protective umbrella over Israel, probably because we're planning on attacking Iran within the next few weeks. So they're getting ready, because once we attack Iran, Iran gives orders to Hezbollah in Lebanon and gives orders to Hamas in Gaza. And Hezbollah has something like 30 or 40,000 missiles prepared to rain down on Tel Aviv and on other parts of the nation of Israel. Hamas claims to have 10, 20,000 rockets that they have smuggled in through underground tunnels that they're prepared to bombard the southern part of Israel. So Israel is getting ready for this war when the skies are absolutely going to be filled with invading missiles, invading bombs. And so Israel and the United States believe they have the wherewithal to this anti-missile defense system that they are setting up right now. They think that they can stop it. Most of the 9,000 troops that we are sending in there this week are technicians and they're missile-type people. That's the whole part of all this. So it's just absolutely enthralling. It's fabulous. And we'll tell you more about the story in a little bit. I'll tell you what, we're too close to a break to take a caller, so if you're on hold, stay right there where you are. Let me give you a little bit of this article. Now, the article that I'm speaking of actually comes from Debka File. It was yesterday, January the 8th, but it's titled, Iran Crosses Another Nuclear Red Line, Fordo Soon on Stream. Now, Fordo is an underground nuclear facility where they're planning on enriching uranium to 20%, even though you only have to do it to like 3.8% for the grade of uranium necessary to generate electricity, and Iran says that's all she's wanted to do. But for some reason, she's enriching to 20%. The next stop is 60%. The next stop is 94.5%, which is weapons grade uranium. So apparently, the United States and Israel believes that we are marching straight toward this war. And it looks like to me that that is probably true. Now, let me see if I can give you the story. The head of Iran's atomic energy organization told the Kahan Daily that 20%, 3.5%, and 4% enriched uranium can be produced at the Fordo site. Israel's defense minister Ehud Barak warned in a number of interviews to U.S. media that once the Fordo plant becomes operational, Iran's nuclear bomb program will become immune to military attack and be able to operate out of the sight of Israeli and Western surveillance. Okay, so Fordo is not operational today, but it's getting very close. And we're getting ready, apparently, to attack Iran, it looks like to me. Hope not. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be terrible. At the same time, it looks like that's what's happening. So, hey, that's what's coming down this week. But the big question is this alliance between the U.S. and Israel actually a fulfillment of a prophecy in the Bible?